And we're back. And this time we're going to be working on the little prison tower and the door and lock mechanism for that prison tower that we're going to be using in the game we're working on. So I showed you this last time. I'll go ahead and show you again so you've got an idea of what we're working on. Last time we did this tower, and this time we're going to do the door and the lock mechanism for that. It's going to just be on the side of the tower. So that's what we're going to do there. And let's go ahead and get into Blender and get going. So here's what we've done so far. And let's make sure the screencast keys are on. That's what that is. And get to the right view angle. And I'm going to just start out with a cube. Move it over a bit more. And let's first of all get this, the shape, the basic shape laid out. So we know how big the door is. And all of that good stuff. And we want to bring it to the inside edge of our little doorway here. So there. There. And there. And now we're going to do the same on this side. Now we've got a replica of the size that we're working with. And now we can bring in a few more cubes. First one's going to be down here at the bottom, or at the middle. Get it brought in to the same width, like so. And then scale it down on the z-axis. Now we can scale this down a bit more. It's about there. Now we duplicate it once, and we're going to pull this one down. And we're going to scale this one out on the X to about here. Duplicate it once more, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now these are going to be our vertical slats. So we want this one going a bit higher on the z-axis. So we're going to scale it up. Maybe a little bit more. That looks good. And we should have a horizontal at the top. I somehow forgot to put that one in. Now we need to get this one copied at least once before we go in and actually work on getting it this gap filled in, which we will do now by adding in a loop cut here, and then grabbing this bottom set of vertices and just sliding it over. And we should do the same with this, with both of them really. There we go. Now we can select the other one and duplicate them. And we're going to mirror them across the x-axis. So that's Control M and X. And now we can just slide this right over. And now we need at least one for the middle there, so we're going to duplicate this, slide it into the middle, and hit the Tab key, and grab the top one, and pull it down. I'll pull it down to about there. And that will give us what we need once we delete the rest of it and get it all scaled in properly. So let's box select everything with B and click and drag. Now we're going to scale it down on the y-axis. Like so, and grab the 3 horizontals. Slide them back, like so. Going to top view, we can make sure it's where it needs to be. And now, let's grab the verticals. And we're going to duplicate all of these and slide them back as well. So it's sandwiching that middle set. And there's what it looks like. Let's go into wireframe. Grab everything and flatten it out on the Y just a little bit more. And let's grab that middle horizontal and group join everything to that. So we're going to hit Control and J, and it all joins it with that as the center point. Now we can go into top view and slide this over where it matches up with our doorway. Like so. And this origin point needs to be over here. And oh, some of the normals are not pointing the right way. Let's go in and fix that. So all of these need to be reset. because if we leave them like this, it'll cause problems in the game engine. It knows what to do with them when they're facing the right way, but if they're not, it has a chance of causing it to do things we don't really want it to do. So that's why we flip them. Get them facing the right way. And now we can grab everything and just slide it over to where that little dot is right on that edge, like so. And we should also do that from the top. Like so, and that is what creates the pivot point, so we can have the door open. Now we can move it back into place. And let's see how that works. We want to rotate it on the z-axis. And there we go, a working door. And what we'll probably do in the actual game engine is have it to where it starts out from about here, halfway in, and then push out and then open. So now we need to do the locking mechanism, which will go on the side of the building right here. So once again, we need a cube. Pull it over to the side. And for this, we're going to get it about that big. Now we're going to add in some loop cuts. We're going to put in 8 that way. And 2 this way. And now we're going to scale them out on the x-axis, like so. And we don't need the back ones, so we can delete those. Now, to select the faces that we want to use for the actual tablet holders or keyholes or whatever you want to call them. Get those selected, and now we're going to extrude them on the y-axis. And what we're going to do is bring them up. And if we go into solid view and select everything on this and scale it down on the z-axis just a little bit. So now I've got 3 notches where things can go, but that's not really what we're looking to do. I'm going to put 1 loop cut on each of these. that way. One more going this way. And another one on the other side over here. Now what we can do is grab these 4 top edges and delete them. Grab the second top edge, that is now the top edge, and extrude it back. And go into side view, and we want it to line up with the innermost point there for that same edge, like so. Now we can fill these faces in. And let's give it a bit more depth this way. And flatten it on the Y so everything is nice and flat. Just slide it down like so. And there we have should be properly sized for what we're doing. Go ahead and put the back face in on all of them. And let's grab the outer edge here all the way around. And we're going to extrude it back on the Y, like so. Scale it all down on the Z. And let's get it lined up with that origin point. And we can pull it in place now. And we'll have it at an angle. Get it brought down to the right level there. And get it brought in this way as well. And let's just hide the door. You've got to work with this. All needs to be fitting in that allotted space. So I added that edge loop to give it some stability right here, so I can pull these in and it's not going to deform along this edge. Meaning that I can get all of these in the proper position without there being any conflict with the inner slots. We're just going to move this one back as well, and the one right above it too. Unhide everything, and there is our prison tower. And that's going to be it for this session of the Blender Learning Series. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. That's all for this session of Polygonal Art with JoRaSe. If you enjoyed what you saw, how about giving this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos from me. In the video description below, you'll find my Patreon link. Feel free to check it out. Now, on to the credits.